Hello and welcome to Mixologist, the place on the internet thingy where we just get perfectly adequate brand new parts and we just break them apart and use them to keep some old junk going. So on this episode what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start the work on this marine carburetor. There's a kind of 4160 that I bought for a very cheap price on the internet. Again, now there's a reason it was cheap, and the reason it was cheap is that the carb didn't come with a base plate at all. So therefore what I did is I went on the line and I procured a brand new base plate. Look at this. This is a new old stock Holley 600 CFM base plate. It's in absolutely brilliant condition, and I'm going to break it up because I'm going to use it to build this carb up. So I'll show you very briefly what we're working with. So these are the bits that I purchased. The metering block, this is okay. Obviously all these parts when they came they were very dirty and they have been cleaned, ultrasonic cleaned and blasted as well. So if we look at the body here, we've got a J-pipe missing, but I've got one of those, so that's okay. Obviously the vacuum diaphragm was absolutely knackered. This needs a bit of work still. The choke flap, the float is okay. The metering plate at the back was more or less okay, but crucially also fuel bowl. Look at this, we're missing this bits here, so that's a little bit of a problem which we're going to resolve very quickly. So basically this is what I've got, and this is the brand new base plate that I've got, and I need to start breaking it up. So once I break up the base plate, put it in marine configuration, I sort out the fuel bowl, I'll show you how, change the J-pipe. I think I'm pretty much ready for assembly. So here's the now kind of marinized base plate. So what I did is I used the principle of least intervention. So I only changed the primary shaft. The secondary shaft I just left it alone because it is brand new, so I don't want to touch it. So but the only thing is that I needed some finagling with this linkage here, because what happens, this, let's say, it needs to operate freely, but also this acts as a stop for full throttle, and actually now it works really well, as you can see. So on the base plate we're good. Now we need to carry on with the rest of the process. Okay, so now I'm going to explain the process of restoration for this particular fuel bowl. So I've got some components, so I'll show you the way I'm going to combine them here, and then I'll do it so that you can, so I'll explain the process first before I do it. So what I've got here is essentially two things. Then first of all is this ball, which is the suitable size ball for the application, and then I've got this little bit of wire, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this wire to a suitable length, and then I'm going to secure this wire in there so that it doesn't allow the ball to come loose. And basically that's it. That's the repair done. Okay, so at this point of the build, I've got some updates of where we're at, and this hopefully would start giving you the idea of why marine carburetors are more expensive than automotive carburetors, because building them is a bit more complex. So let's look at a couple of things that I've done. Obviously, as you can see, this had to be kind of refaced kind of slightly because it was a bit kind of wavy. I didn't like that. Same thing in here, but now I've got this done, the metering plate buttoned up. One of the things that is quite important on the fuel bulbs that I'm going to show you now is about, because they are not externally adjustable, it's very important that you put epoxy on the tops so that you ensure that it doesn't leak. And the problem is that you need to do it first like this and then like this. So, and it's 6 hours at least kind of drying time and 24 hours to cure. So that adds time into the process. So I'll show you how to adjust a non-adjustable fuel bulb or a non-externally adjustable fuel bulb. Okay, so as you can see here, that's a bit of... The way that these fuel bulbs are adjusted is by literally making this tab, by expanding this tab a bit, or by decreasing this tab. That's how you that's how you do it. I mean, this is fine now. So the other thing that I also need to say is that in marine carbs, you absolutely must always, without fail, replace the needle and seat assemblies when you are rebuilding a carb. This is absolutely a must. You cannot put this carb back in the boat if it hasn't got brand new needle and seat assemblies. The other thing that I did as well is I started on the metering block. As you can see, it hasn't got a power valve because the power valve that came in the kit is the incorrect one. Great. However, a week ago, I've already placed an order for parts, and which I've got a part like this, even before I kind of took this apart or opened this box. So the parts are on its way. They're in Kentucky somewhere. I mean, nothing wrong. I've got nothing against Kentucky, but I wish they were here. But anyway, I still need to wait. And I have kind of reassembled and tested the choke, which funny enough was working fine. It just needed a new gasket there, and we're good to go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build all of the bits that I can build before waiting on the spare part, which is just literally the power valve, the new power valve. So Okay, after what seems to be like 150 million years, I finally managed to button up this unit. I found the power valve. It took nearly 2 weeks, that power valve, to get here, but finally it's here, so I managed to build the unit up. And you will see that on the screen just here on the side. It's just a standard Holley assembly. But the problem is that as you can see now, I've got this unit masked up. Why is that? Because what I need to do is I need to use this kind of Carb Renew Eastwood's paint to paint, because marine carbs really, they go painted. So therefore what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint this up and get it really properly finished. Only then it's going to be properly. Now we're coming to the end of this build, and remember I told you that in the previous segment that the painting wasn't necessarily to make it look good, it was more for the protection, so it can go in salt water and everything like that, but it does look actually really nice. I'll show you around. So look at this. This is the result of the painting. Obviously the choke wasn't painted and some bits of that I masked off. This identification plate, obviously all around here, wasn't painted because it shouldn't be. But look at this. How does it look? The base plate actually looks brilliant. It was all masked off. So actually this carb looks, well, it is in fact ready to go on the water. So my final reflection on this unit is possibly the amount of time and all the processes that needed to happen in order to make this unit a reality, and that's why marine carbs generally tend to be more expensive than automotive carbs, is because all these extra processes and things you have to do to them to make sure that they work in their environment that they were designed for. So this now brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and if you got any questions, just put it down in the comments, and I'll see you on the next episode.